this great character. My name is Legend Moore, and I'm sorry I haven't been posting in a while because I've been celebrating my 10th birthday, and I got COVID-19. But I'm back to read for you guys. Today we're going to be reading two new stories of Black heroes, Sojourner Truth and Mary Seacole. Enjoy the video. Sojourner Truth. Sojourner Truth was an abolitionist and women's rights activist in the 1800s. Sojourner Truth was born as Isabella Baumfree in 1797. She was born into slavery, and when she was only 9 years old, she was sold away from her parents. She married in 1815 and over time had 5 children. In 1826, after years of abuse, she escaped with her baby daughter to freedom. Sojourner Truth then began to work to free her other children from slavery. When she discovered that one of her sons had been sold to slaveholders in the South, she sued the slave owner and won freedom for her son. After a religious conversion in 1843, she gave herself the first name Sojourner, which means a person who travels, and the last name Truth. She chose this name because she believed she heard the voice of God telling her to preach the truth. She said, "Sojourner, because I was to travel up and down the land, showing people their sins and being a sign to them, and truth, because I was to declare the truth unto the people." Sojourner began traveling around the North as a preacher and an abolitionist. She was a popular and powerful speaker. Although she never learned to read or write, she could vividly communicate the evils of slavery. Because of this, she was often invited to speak to large crowds. Beyond her work to end of slavery, Sojourner also advocated for women's rights in 1851. She gave one of her most famous speeches titled, "Ain't I a Woman?" In the speech, she spoke bluntly about racism and gender inequality. The speech made her a leader in the early women's rights movement. Sojourner later moved to Michigan, and when the Civil War started, she supported the Union Army in the North by calling for African Americans to enlist. She also worked with organizations that helped newly freed African Americans get settled. Today, Sojourner is recognized as a prominent historical figure in both the abolitionist and women's rights movements. Her work and dedication to both causes has been recognized in historic sites and public memorials. Life is a hard battle anyway. If we laugh and sing a little as we fight the good fight of freedom, it makes it all go easier. I will not allow my life's light to be determined by the darkness around me. Explore more. Want to learn about Sojourner Truth? Check out Kiri Lee Alexander's digital exhibit by searching at artsandculture.google.com. Mary Seacole. Mary Seacole was a British-Jamaican nurse who served during the Crimean War in Eastern Europe. She is famous for combining traditional herbal remedies with European medicine while nursing the British soldiers back to health. Mary Seacole was born Mary Jane Grant in Jamaica in 1805. Her mother was a Jamaican healer, and her father was a Scottish officer. As a child, Mary learned about medicine from her mother, who ran a boarding house where she took care of injured soldiers. Mary liked to play nurse, caring for her dolls and pets. By the time she was 12, she was helping her mother take care for patients, using traditional Caribbean remedies. Mary spent time as a nurse in Panama, a country in Central America, where there was an outbreak of disease called cholera. I think I've heard of that before. In 1851, she examined the body of a child who had died from cholera in order to understand the disease better. She was able to use her knowledge and skills to help other people suffering from cholera, and became known for her healing abilities. In 1854, Mary volunteered to work as a nurse during the Crimean War, but was rejected because of her race. But Mary knew her skills were needed, so she didn't give up. She saved money and paid her own way to the front lines of the war. Soon after she arrived, she set up what she called the British Hotel for the Sick, recovering hungry, cold, or any other soldiers who needed help. She was called Mother Seacole for her compassion and kindness. After the war, Mary returned to England and published her memoir. Wonderful Adventures of Mrs. Seacole and in Many Lands. She was in debt from the cost of the British Hotel, so the local newspaper started a fundraising campaign to support her. Mary's strength and determination had a lasting impact on the nursing industry. In 2004, she was voted the greatest Black Briton. There is a statue of her on the grounds of St. Thomas Hospital in London. Beside the nettle, ever grows the cure for its sting. Explore more. You can find Mary Seacole's memoir, Wonderful Adventures of Mrs. Seacole in Many Lands, online. Read more about her fascinating life.